Look, up in the sky. It's a burn. It's a Biden. It's Super Tuesday.
You can bitch. If he dies, he dies.
Good evening, and welcome to the Byers Guide. I'm your host, Justin Byers, and tonight we have a supersized Super Tuesday segment just for you. So, coming out of the South Carolina primary that happened last Saturday, we all knew Biden was going to do well, but we didn't know he was going to do that well. So, thanks to his pandering to the black vote and the ethnic community in the South, Biden came out of the primary with 48.7% of the vote, awarding him 39 delegates from South Carolina. Sanders came at I guess you can call it a second, with 19.8%, giving him 15 delegates. And billionaire Tom Steyer came in with 11.3% of the vote because he was dropping millions of dollars to try to make South Carolina count for him. It didn't because he got 0 delegates. He promptly dropped out. The other candidates in the primary, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Warren, didn't even break 10%. They're not very popular down there. So it is customary after South Carolina for people to kind of really reassess their role in the race. They don't want to take away from who's going to be the eventual nominee. Buttigieg drops out on March the 1st, endorses Biden.
Doing this again?
Klobuchar drops out on March the 2nd. Guess who she endorses? Biden. And then that brings us to Super Tuesday, March the 3rd, the big day that everybody was waiting for to see who is going to be the guy to take on Donald J. Super Tuesday, Biden's big comeback. Biden ends up running the board. He wins Alabama, Arkansas, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Bernie comes out of it with California, Colorado, Utah, and Vermont. So pretty much anywhere that you imagine people are smoking legal pot, Bernie won it. Texas and California were the big wins here because California has 415 delegates up for grabs. Texas has 228. So with Bernie getting California, that's why he is still kind of in this race, despite the fact that Biden got so many more states. Biden did get Texas with 228 delegates. Bloomberg dropped out on the 4th after spending about $500 million of his own money for a really expensive reality check that nobody likes him. He then went on to endorse Biden, also giving Biden another advantage of the financial backing of somebody like Bloomberg, who seems convinced that he is the better version of Donald Trump. Rude. Elizabeth Warren ends up dropping out on March the 5th after placing 3rd in her home state of Massachusetts, losing it to Biden. That one had to hurt. She was kind of fledging, but not only to lose to Biden, but to be 3rd in the state of which you're senator. So she reassessed. Now, she did not give an endorsement yet, and this is interesting because I believe, this is personal opinion, that she's looking for the vice presidency. And she's curious because she's the last high-profile candidate to drop out, so her endorsement's going to mean something. Obviously, her and Biden don't see eye to eye, and if she supports Bernie, who's more ideologically with her, she could risk throwing it away and the delegates end up all going to Biden. So she's in a little bit of a weird place right now, but I imagine in the coming months she will make an endorsement. Also, personal opinion of my own, I do believe the vice president's probably going to be some sort of minority, gay, black, woman, because at the end of the day, if it's a 70-year-old white dude, they're going to want somebody to combat the xenophobia and prejudiceness that comes with the current administration.
On both sides.
We're talking a lot about delegates. Let's talk about what delegates are and what they actually mean here. In this particular case, Biden is at 664 delegates, while Bernie is at 573 delegates. There is the oddly specific number of 1,991 delegates needed in order to secure the Democratic nomination. A delegate is a person selected to represent a group of people in times of elections and such. We might be a democracy, but because you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, they get people to make that decision for you to give you the illusion that it was your choice. Which generally delegates go with what people want, but it's not. If the popular vote decided the president, we'd have a very vastly different history in this country. The number of delegates in a state is based on the population of the state, not the size of the state. So that's why somewhere like California, Texas is such a big grab. There are smaller states that have more delegates than bigger states because of the population. There are 4,765 total Democrat delegates, and out of those, 714 of them are super delegates. And a superdelegate is essentially just a Democrat who is more special than the rest. Governor, member of Congress, former president, somebody to carry a little extra weight. And they do carry extra weight when those delegates are given to the nominees. So we'll tune into the next debate, March 15th, otherwise known as the Ides of March, which is historically speaking been a Roman holiday for settling debts and getting affairs in order. And it was also the day that Julius got stabbed in the back by Brutus. So with the DNC coming, I hope Bernie's a fan of the Caesar salad. And that's our show for this week. Thanks for joining us. See us again next Monday for whatever tomfoolery is going on in the world. And never forget, be cool, America. Flavor Flav's out of Public Enemy. He says it's because of Bernie Sanders. He didn't like the fact that Chuck D signed them up to represent Bernie at the Fight the Power rally. I'm sure that's strictly why he was fired. But I don't know.
He's been messing up for a while.
Yeah, he has. And but Bernie's breaking up rap groups.
Next is the Beastie Boys.
Oh, please not. We already lost one of them. It's a bird. It's winning. It's Superman. It's Super Tuesday.
It's got to be in tip-top shape. He is a sick puppy.